The New York Knicks take a big step forward today on trade deadline day. I'm your host, Andrew Schlecht. With me is Dave DeFore. Big time deal, lots of players. So buckle up. Here we go. Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks going to the Knicks from the Pistons in exchange for Quentin Grimes, Malachi Flynn, Evan Fournier, free Fournier. Wow. He finally got it. And Ryan Arcidiacono. Oh my gosh. What a name.
Arcidiacono.
Arcidiacono with two second round picks going to the Pistons. What hits you, Dave DeFore, when you saw this?
Well,
trade?
I mean, listen, I think the Knicks really have done well for themselves in this trade. They clear up the Quentin Grimes situation, which they had a contract decision to make on him, and he was the odd man out. So luckily moved him to a place where he's going to get a chance. I mean, anybody but Jaden Ivey gets a chance in Detroit, although I know he's playing now. Huge pickup, though. At a time when the Knicks are struggling with injuries, I mean, everyone is hurt. Josh Hart told these guys, get on a private jet. We need you now. Bojan Bogdanovic, huge pickup, is going to be a starter for them. Only $19 million next year, which means if they hang on to him, he's not expensive. And Tom Thibodeau loves Alec Burks so much. So much. Alec Burks is going to have a chance to score 20 a game while Brunson is out and Randall's out. I mean, this really does help them not only bridge the gap through this next 6 weeks where they're dealing with all these injuries, but I think come playoff time, this is two guys they've added to the rotation who can score and shoot and dribble. The most important things to do in basketball. The Knicks, they just hit 2 doubles with this one trade. I mean, this is a huge move for them. They're going in and it's cost them zero. They have given up nothing. It's amazing.
Yeah. Quentin Grimes has not been the player that they thought he would be. And to them, I kind of give them some credit for including him in this deal because it wasn't that long ago that it was, hey, for Donovan Mitchell, no way are we dealing Quentin Grimes.
Right.
And now they've kind of realized where, and I still like Quentin Grimes. I actually like him for the Pistons. I think it's a good situation for him to kind of get some reps. But they acquire 2 players that are going to play and that can play minutes and that can go score for them, which is kind of important for them, at least at this point in the season, that they just need guys that can score. Like they have so many injuries right now that they need guys to fill minutes and they need guys to score. It also makes them deeper as a team that I think Tom Thibodeau will play, which I think is very, very important because he has driven these guys into the ground at this point in the season. And they just need depth. They just need players that can come in and soak up minutes so that he's not going to. And Fred said it on Tampering the other day. Like he played a 6-man rotation in the second half of a game the other day. That is just, it's the regular season. You got to have more guys. And I think they acquired 2 players that can play a lot for them.
Alec Burks is going to play a ton. Alec Burks is going to play a ton. I don't know which player Tom Thibodeau loves more. We know he loves Derrick Rose, but I do think Alec Burks might be the favorite guy he's ever coached because Alec Burks, he also performs for Tom Thibodeau. And Alec Burks was, I think, one of the few adults in the room in Detroit this year. Him and obviously Bojan, but Bojan was hurt for a large portion of the season. But Alec Burks has been solid. He's a solid pro. I'm a big fan of Alec Burks. And again, it's another guy who can shoot, dribble, he can do stuff. Bojan also gives them another guy who can slide up and play the 4, which means Josh Hart, congratulations, buddy. No more power forward minutes for Josh Hart. And I know that's been one of his big complaints. Fred will tell you all the time. Josh likes to go on the record and talk about how his body's getting beat up, playing the 4, all those minutes. And now you've got another big body that they can throw out there at the 4 and they can get through this time without Randall. And Mitchell Robinson may be coming back, not too long after the All-Star game. So all of a sudden, they've taken a team that was surprisingly deep. This was not a 6-man roster to start the season, okay? And now they've actually got 9 or 10 rotation guys that they're going to be able to shake out come playoff time, and they're going to be able to put their best performing lineups all game long. They've just got scoring in a way that they haven't had in years. Jalen Brunson's life got so much easier.
Yeah, I agree. I think this shows the Knicks are ready to make a long playoff run. They didn't give up any first-round picks, which they still have first-round picks. So it keeps them flexible for the summer, where if there is somebody that they really want to acquire, they can still go get them. I mean, they gave up guys that really weren't playing a whole lot. Quentin Grimes is like the only guy that you could say is like, hey, this is a guy that's kind of in and out of the rotation. Everybody else is not really going to play.
Well, Fournier's been trying to get out of town for a long time. And I mean, he's probably going to get bought out. I mean, he's just not. I don't know that Fournier is in anybody's NBA plans. Malachi Flynn, he's a trade throwing guy. You know, he's Kira Lewis, you know, unfortunately.
Sure.
They gave up nothing. But for Detroit, you got to think about this. Bojan could have been moved last year. They wanted they turned down 2 first-round picks for Bojan last year. Detroit has just made mistake after mistake after mistake. Yeah. I have no idea what this team is trying to do, what direction they're going in. Quentin Grimes is a good young player. Great. Good pickup. Is that really enough for what you had on your roster? I mean, Bojan could have helped a bunch of teams last year.
Yeah.
They had first-round pick offers on the table. And you got Quentin Grimes. I would be pretty disappointed if I was running that team.
Yeah, I mean, Grimes this season, 36% from 3 on 4.7 attempts. That's fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
7 points. I mean, in 20 minutes. I mean, he's just not. I don't think he's a needle mover for them. I don't get it either. I'd rather have a first-round pick. I mean, we kind of dogged on Masai earlier today for only getting a first-round pick for the guys, but the Pistons didn't even give a first for either of these guys, who I think like this combo is going to make a bigger impact than the combo coming from Utah, and they couldn't get a first from the Knicks, who have excess firsts right now, which I don't know. Like I'm with you. This is a head scratcher from the point of Detroit, especially when a trade had just been made,
right,
for 2 like role players going to another team, and maybe the difference is Quentin Grimes. That like, hey, we want Quentin Grimes. Like that's the part of the deal. But to me, it's just not enough of a needle mover. I'd rather just have an extra pick for a team that doesn't have excess picks, for a team that is asset poor compared to a lot of other young teams.
But it absolutely moves the needle for the Knicks. And this is that's the craziest thing, is that the Knicks, Detroit just did a favor to the Knicks. Mm-hmm. On multiple fronts. Number one, they didn't take the first round pick. Number 2, they took Quentin Grimes. And not that he was a problem, but his contract was going to be his contract situation. So they got off Grimes, and they got 2 guys that are going to play for them in the playoffs. And when you look at how the Bucks have been a mess, Embiid's injury, even though we like the healed pickup, this sets the Knicks up. Like, could the Knicks be the 2 seed in the East?
If they can be healthy, yes. If they can get healthy, and at this point, it's kind of a big if.
We're on the now we're at the part of the season where this is where we're talking about health almost exclusively, right? Like, and for the Knicks, this helps them get through the rough patch of their season that they're entering into, where they've got 7 guys or 8 guys on the injury report every night. So it's a massive now move. It's a massive April, May, June move. I think that this is even a good move for the summer and next year, because you got that Bojan contract no matter what. So you've got it's 19 million. The contracts in that 18 to 22 million range are so perfect for combining with smaller salaries to move and get a bigger piece. And when you have maintained your draft assets the way that the Knicks have, this could be the summer that they go out and get the big fish. Jalen Brunson as the number 2 on the New York Knicks, that's a conference champion finals team. So I think that the Knicks have just done extremely well. And for years, obviously, we hammered the Knicks for poor management, always going for the big splashy names and then never panning out. And they just hit a couple doubles here, and this is how you win championships. I mean, it's just fantastic trade for the Knicks.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna have more and more videos today. Lots of trades happening, and more to break down here on the Athletic NBA Show's YouTube page. Please stay locked into everything here at The Athletic.